And ladies and gentlemen, once again, welcome to this very exciting segment. Yes, exciting, really exciting, because we have some amazing updates for you in this segment. And this is the segment which is episode number 58. Yes, I'm talking about the travel updates with Tanvi Goel of Oz India Travels. With that, welcome to the show, Tanvi.
Thank you so much, Umeshi, and thank you so much, everyone, for following us, for sending such an overwhelming response, asking us questions. Believe me, this is really the best time of the week where I really wait for this time so I can interact with you guys and get your feedbacks and get a lot of research so I can share with you all the updates of the week. So, guys, this week is really very quite exciting. You must have got few news already. It's going everywhere in Facebook, and I'm sure especially those who are students and temporary visa holders, skilled ones who are stuck overseas, must be very excited to come back home. So yes, we got you so many big news, and there is another big news from Brisbane as well, which I'm going to share with you all. So thank you so much for all that. And before we go ahead, just a little disclaimer that any information we share today is general information only. As you know, rules and regulations keep changing all the time, and individual cases may vary as well.
And of course, yes, rules and regulations keep changing. Right now, Tanvi, thanks very much for that disclaimer there. And right now, moving forward, because it is all so exciting today. So what are the updates in Australia? Any updates of Australia?
So many updates, guys. I have just, I have chosen few of them, which I'll share with you. So let's start with the best announcement of the whole week, and I would say in last 2 years. That was, done by Prime Minister, and he has, it's the reopening of the Australian borders to overseas visa holders. Fantastic news came up just a few days back, including arrivals under the Working Holidays Makers Program. I know many of you were still confused, and I thought, okay, let me put it here so you have a bit more clarity on this. So next stage of the country post-COVID travel resumption will become effective from 1st of December. Yes, just in a few days, allowing fully vaccinated eligible visa holders to enter without applying for a travel exemption, as well as the backpackers like initiative will apply for skilled migrants and students along with the humanitarian and provisional visa holders. That's also PM mentioned. So Morrison also announced the new travel arrangement for Japan and Korea with fully vaccinated citizens of both countries eligible to enter Australia quarantine free to states and territories wherever it's open. So fantastic news. Definitely the students and temporary visa holders, you are welcome to come back to the country, though options are less, which we're going to share with you when we come to the part where we're going to tell you the flights. But yes, that's the best news. Second best news I want to give to those in Brisbane. I know previously you could not fly early, even though there are some options to fly from Australia, but you could not go straight away. Generally, you need to wait for 20 hours or so. But just 2 days back, there's a new testing center open in Brisbane where you can just get the report within 2 hours. So 1 to 2 hours is the time. So that's amazing news as well that you guys can go. And the same kind of centers are already there in Melbourne and Sydney where you get the report within 1 hour of your, as soon as you give the sample, they give you a result within 1 to 2 hours, which means you are good to fly if your flight is even after 4 hours. So within 4 hours of departure, you can get the test done, you can do other formalities, and you can fly. So that's fantastic news. Next thing, guys, there is one question which we were asked a couple of times in last week, and I thought I should add that one. Where people were asking that, so what's going on? Where there are so much excitement all around Australia. People are already started packing bags and planning that what they should do. So what are the trends going on? So I thought I'll just got a bit of research here for you guys, which I would love to share. So Fiji is actually on the top of the list of the most researched for international travel destinations by Aussies planning to take holidays between November and January 2022. And Singapore and Dubai were the most popular, after this travel targets, followed by London, Hawaii, and Paris, and also the Queenstown, which I know a lot of people are thinking to go to New Zealand. So these are the main top international destinations which were searched, and most of the people are planning to go. You guys might have your better more bucket list, but these are the top trends right now. Domestically, Gold Coast is the most sought after the city travel to. 2022, ahead of Sydney, which is on the second at the moment, and followed by Perth, and then Brisbane, Melbourne, and Cairns. So more than 4 in 5 Aussies also indicated that they want to see water in this next trip, which is a very, very important part of the trip as well. So that's really quite exciting. I thought I'll share with you guys, and we would love to know about your trip as well, that what you're really planning, that what would be your international trip when you plan to fly, and domestically as well. Please share with us on this video and this comment section, and wherever you share, just mention that yes, my international holiday is this, and tag us Australian Indian Radio and Oz India Travel, just hashtag, so we can see what are your exciting places as well, and we will definitely keep telling you what Aussie trends are happening as well. Next is Australia domestic as well. So that's from New South Wales government. They have allocated an extra 91.5 million towards the improving nature-based tourism projects across the state. So upgrades will apply to attractions such as walking trails, family-friendly amenities, so including 3.45 million upgrades to elevated rainforest broadwalks, 3 million they allocated to the new visitor George River National Park, 3 millions around the visitor infrastructure. So many things to move on, but because we are talking about $91 million. Before COVID struck, New South Wales National Parks enjoyed 60 million annual visits, generating visit around 18 billion in economy activity. So that's really quite exciting to see, and and I think we definitely need such upgrades because health is definitely the priority at the moment. Next is from Virgin Australia. So they have launched a new loyalty promotion that provides Velocity members access to book every economy seat on carrier domestic network from travel between 1st of December to 31st of March 2022 using your reward points. There are so many another attractions and many amazing flights also going on, so you must definitely check if you're planning to fly domestically. In fact, if you guys are going internationally as well, there are very good connections. Now all the domestic airlines also got, so Virgin Australia Qantas is definitely on top of the list, and Jetstar also got amazing connections even with the international flights. If that flight doesn't go from the main place, then you have the connections through Jetstar as well. Next up from Rex as well. So Rex has rewarded the 5 other regulated routes. It's currently servicing to destinations such as Birdville, Wilton, Mornington, Mount Isa, Longreach. There are so many places which they're being flying, and they are planning to start them again, and they will be starting from 1st of January 2022. Which means, guys, you are going in regional areas anywhere in Australia. Definitely main airports are pretty much covered and got already very exciting offers. But in regional areas, once again, you guys have a lot more options from main cities in Australia. So that's really fantastic news. If you want to have a look on the short tours, you can jump on our website as well, which is www.ausindiatravel.com.au. You can go under Australia tour section, and there is an option where you can explore. Just write the name of your state or the city. There's a lot of information available. If you want to book as well, you can book over there. Otherwise, just get the information and make the ball rolling and plan your holiday. I would say this 2022 is bringing lots of excitement around, and this is the time you guys can plan. So this is the main update, Australia-wide.
And yes, it is exciting times, and it is, just listening to you and all those options that are available, it is very exciting. So next up, let's take a look at the updates for Australia to India flights.
So Australia to India flights, guys, if I tell you specifically in the coming week, and especially even up till December, options are really less, but don't be scared. They are always the substitute. So I would recommend you guys to really fly November, December if it's really important for you to go. I know there's so many people have emergencies, and many people got the weddings and some special occasions at home, which they thought they could not make it, but now they all are trying to do it. So I would say, please go till December if it's really important for you to go, because there are less options. If I give you a bit of idea before we go ahead, city by city, I'll just give you a little bit of snapshot at what's happening in Australia today right now. So if you go in November or December and come back, so one way you're looking at, let's say $1,500 if you go in a shorter flights, especially from Brisbane and other cities. Sydney and Melbourne might give you even a little bit cheaper option for $1,200-$1,300 one way and return, $2,000 approximately minimum, I would say, if you come in till December. But if you plan in January and go in January, come back in March or August, March or April, sorry, then you might have maybe $1,800, or once again it depends. If you're coming Melbourne or Sydney, then you have better options and cheaper fares. But if you're coming to Brisbane, Perth, Adelaide, or all other places, then you have to add one domestic as well, which becomes at least $2,500, the minimum fare return you are looking at. So but if you guys, not fussy with the dates, I would say better to just go in March for Holi, or just go on Easter time, because that time I have seen you can get return fare for $1,400 and $1,500 return as well, which we thought would never be possible in last 1.5 years, but it's happened this time that airlines are coming up slowly, and they are option to return for $1,500 as well if you guys go around March or April. Now I have one more good news for you guys, that those who are especially in Melbourne, there's been you guys being very very lucky in past, and now Sydney is mainly going in lucky list, but you guys are a little bit lucky again, because you got the Melbourne non-stop 12 hours flight as well, because previously it was just between Delhi Sydney, but now Melbourne, your flight starting from 22nd of December, just 12 hours non-stop between Melbourne and Delhi with Qantas. So that's the really best news. And flight wise, guys, you have Emirates, Qatar as usual, which has been happening from last whole year. Then you have Air India and Qantas, right now going only from Sydney, between Delhi and Sydney, and starting from Melbourne on 22nd of December. From Melbourne and Sydney, you have Sri Lankan and Etihad flight as well, and Sydney got Japan Airlines. So these are the places where the main flight is starting from, but if you're in any other city and you want to connect, that is possible as well. We can go through this city by city now.
And of course, this is a very exciting news. 22nd of December seems to be a very good day. Well, right now, moving on. So, with that in mind, that those are the updates from Australia to India. So, looking at all the cities, let's begin with Brisbane. So, what are the flight options from Brisbane at this point in time?
So from Brisbane, you can have Emirates and Qatar, though in coming week, as I said, till December, there are less options. But you have Qatar flights flying every Monday, Thursdays and Saturdays, and Emirates flight Monday, Tuesdays, Saturdays and Sundays. Let me tell you, if you guys want to have a short journey, we can make connection with Air India on Saturdays and Qantas on Thursdays, Saturdays and Sundays. So there are plenty of flights. In fact, Sri Lankan and Etihad also making combinations from Brisbane, though it will be 2 stops flight for you, but you guys have that option.
So that's very good options there from Brisbane. Well, right now moving on, as we know, many people are looking at the options from Sydney. So what are the flight options from Sydney?
So Sydney, you guys are really the luckiest right now, because you got 12 hours non-stop Air India and Qantas. As I mentioned, Air India you have pretty much every Saturdays. Qantas you have Thursdays, Saturdays and Sundays, though there are less availabilities for last coming whole month, but you have those options. You also have Qatar and Emirates. So Qatar flying Tuesday, Monday, Tuesday, Fridays and Saturdays from Sydney, and from Emirates flying Monday, Wednesday, Thursday and Saturdays. And also you have Sri Lankan Airlines options on Thursdays and Fridays, and Etihad options 1 or 2 flights a week. So there are plenty of options from Sydney, and best ones.
Yes, so Sydney, that is very good. Yes, Melbourne used to be the lucky one, now Sydney. Well, talking about Melbourne, what are the flight updates from Melbourne?
So Melbourne, you have Qatar flights going, so which is Monday, Wednesday, Fridays and Saturdays, and then you have Emirates flight, which is on Tuesday, Wednesday and Fridays. Once again, Air India flight can be connected, but we have to connect it separately. On Saturdays, you have Sri Lankan flights going straight as well on Thursdays and Fridays, and Etihad flight as well. Just remember, guys, you have Singapore Airlines option as well throughout in Australia with the 2 stops where you go via Singapore and Colombo to India. So those options are available from Melbourne and other cities as well.
Okay, so having Melbourne covered, so that's quite a good options available from there as well. So moving on, South Australia, as we know, the borders have just opened there. So what are the flight options from Adelaide?
So Adelaide, you got just direct flight is with Qatar, and which is flying on Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and Saturdays. Emirates can be connected via Melbourne most of the time, which is same like Melbourne, which will be Tuesday, Wednesday, Fridays, and Sundays. Also, we can add you Air India on Saturdays. You have to go one day before, and Sri Lankan and Etihad options are also there 2 times a week, where you have to we have to connect you from Adelaide as well. Though those journeys will be really too long. Sorry, but it depends what is really your requirements are. I would recommend, if it's possible, take Qatar just with 1 stop. That would be the best option for you.
So that is a very, very good option that you have just mentioned there. Well, right now, moving on, Western Australia. Let's take a look at the flight updates from Perth.
So from Perth, once again, you have Qatar, which is flying Monday, Tuesday, Fridays, and Saturdays. You have Emirates flight, which is flying on Monday, Tuesday, and Fridays. Once again, you guys can also connect with Air India on Saturdays, Qantas on Thursdays, Saturdays, and Sundays. Also, Sri Lankan and Etihad options you guys have. Which is on Thursdays and Fridays. So pretty much 4 to 5 flights a week you guys have. Pretty much any day of the week you guys can fly. And luckiest one, because you guys have the cheapest option possible in Australia to India. Amazing.
So that is wonderful news that they have the cheapest option, which is quite good right now. Well, okay, moving on, having covered all the cities here, let's take a look at any update of India or India to Australia.
So India, really guys, I would say it's all excitement everywhere, and so happy to hear from so many students that they're ready to come back. So once again, if you are a student and you have not registered with India High Commission, please do so. Though things are opening up, but still there are a lot more things can be done, or the help you can take from Indian High Commission. So please register yourself. Flight-wise, guys, you have Emirates, Qatar, Air India, Qantas, and Japan Airlines. These are main 5 airlines flying from India to Australia right now. Emirates is quite full. So I would say if you guys are planning to fly, return within a year, it's better you can take a return flight, which is changeable anyway, because if you take one-way flight, let's say, that's costing you $1,500 to $2,000 minimum, just one way from India. But if you guys take return flight for another $400-500, you might just take your return flight, which can be a better option if you're planning to go back to India within next year. Now, Air India and Qantas is the most bookable options these days because they have the maximum flights. Qatar and Emirates is also pretty sold out from India as well, or they have just business class available till January and February as well. So if you guys planning to come March or after, fares are cheaper. You might just get $1,000 or $1,200 or something like that. Or if you book return flight, it may be just $1,500-1,600. So one ways are always expensive, but they are options. Japan Airlines is also there, but a majority of days I can see they have 36 hours hold in Tokyo, which you can take in sometime. It can be really cheap as well, to 1,000 and 1,000, 1,200 or something like that. So there are options from India to Australia, but they are still less. We are expecting more flights to release. Maybe next week or in next couple of weeks there will be more options to fly from India to Australia as well. But I would say really recommendation to you guys, please don't book the airlines which are not operating at the moment and they expected to operate. I have seen quite a few people which I keep getting calls that they're booking online. They can see the availabilities, but when they go close to the date, the flight is not moving anymore. Guys, what a very big tip I really want to give you here, and just think logically, I would say. Look, airlines are there to start. Government is definitely supporting and opening the borders. But to look at this way, that airlines don't have resources to operate it fully. So if they don't have resources, they don't have the employees who can work on it. So you can imagine that the fares or the flights are not going to start straight away. And there's a very, very huge demand right now. There are thousands of people, actually 30-40,000 people are really ready to fly both ways already. So there is a very, very crazy demand right now, and airlines are not fully operating too. And also India closed the border already up till 30th of November. And it's like keep changing as well. And from India, not every airlines can fly from India to Australia or any other countries as well. So there are very limited connections actually happening, without any extra permission. So there are some special charters or flights are planned, which I can see from 3rd of January. We have Singapore or Scoot combinations are coming, which are quite cheap, starting just $1,300 one way. and very short journey as well, just couple of 2-3 hours transit time you have if you're coming 3rd January after. But there are limited options, and I would say just choose them very, very wisely. If you guys need any updates that what's happening, you can always follow this particular episode so you would know exactly what's happening. But yes, there may be so many good news following up in next few weeks. Meshi.
That is excellent news, and of course, all those updates that you have provided. Well, right now, let's take a broader look, and on a broader look, let's look at any updates for international travel or internationally.
So internationally, there are many airlines who are opening up, making some changes, doing some code shares, so we can get really better options. So let's start with Jetstar. So Jetstar Asia has announced they are planning to relaunch services between Singapore and Perth from 12th of February 2022. The carrier has blocked 4 weekly services to Perth. Before the pandemic, travelers from Singapore were one of the Perth's largest visitors market. So that's really great news that they're going to start. Next is from Malaysian Airlines and Singapore Airlines. So they have also unveiled a major expansion of their code share partnership, including a reactivation of joint services between Singapore and Kuala Lumpur. So Boosted Pact also includes 15 onboard points in Malaysia, 7 destinations in Europe, and 2 in the South Africa. So the move follows the announcement of a new vaccinated travel lane arrangement between the countries, which is effective from 29th of November, just in a few days, with the airlines noting an ongoing increase in demand for travel. So it will be really great that, if these 2 airlines really club together, we'll really have a lot more options as well. Next is from American Airlines. So American Airlines and British Airways, they have announced a new collaboration as well with American Express Global Travel, offering a free COVID test for premium class travelers on transatlantic flights. A rapid antigen test approved by both US and UK governments from the testing provider queued and produced results just in 20 minutes. So I can see, guys, it's really great news. Those who are flying on different classes now, seems like COVID testing going to be a new trend. So you guys get different complimentary things when you're flying in business class. You have different kind of kids are giving to you. But I think, and even I have seen people can drop off fast, and so many things are being added. So that's like a new trend that the COVID test will be added. So we are quite exciting. Thank you, American Airlines and British Airways, and I think more airlines to follow the same trend as well. So which is great, and 20 minutes getting result, really absolutely great. Next is from Delta Airlines and Latam. Delta Airlines, they have widened their code sharing as well, with Latam Airlines adding 20 international routes between US and South America. So DL has put their codes to 12 international routes already with them, and they are code sharing to 6 regional routes as well in South America, while LATAM have slotted its code to 8 international routes operated by Delta Airlines and connect South America and US. So you guys can see that pretty much all airlines are doing code sharings and just giving us the best options they can do. So next is from United Airlines. So they have also announced they'll start flights between San Francisco and Singapore on 5th of January next year. So services will operate 4 times a week, and like they used to do before pandemic as well. The route was the second longest in the airlines network behind Houston to Sydney. Next is from Finnair. So they will also operate on Singapore flights with vaccinated travel lane status, which is starting, as we mentioned before, on 29th of November. And they are planning to operate these flights at least for now on 29th November till 26th of March. So those who have an existing booking on flight to Singapore as of 26th November will be contacted by airlines directly, and they will be giving better options as well if in case your flight was cancelled before, if you have outside this particular timeline. but really amazing news. And this, I think, the Singapore, this vaccinated travel lane really made lots of senses and given you guys really a lot better options as well. So other than that, those flights are operating Australia to India. They are really doing good. So there is no problem with all those flights. Everything is going well, and also not in the the flying or the flight word, but also in hotel and cruise lines. There are so many things happening. So I can see there are so many hotels putting up great offers. Of course, not when it's very busy in December, but definitely after you can see a lot more. But I have seen Shangri-La Sydney, they have got a new introduce a new gift vouchers just for the Christmas, just in time for Christmas, where they have vouchers from $495 to $995. The new line offers you to give you the sparkling wines, wallet parking, breakfast, afternoon tea, and so many amazing offers as well, which you guys can check out. So definitely the best time for you guys to have holidays domestically or internationally as well. In fact, I have seen so many cruise lines as well, like Norwegian Cruise Line and Princess, and those Airlines cruises also got so many amazing offers for a Black Friday, which is just following up tomorrow. So guys, if you are planning to have some cruise, I would say definitely worth checking out, because there are some cruise lines who are giving you off or discounts up to 20, 30 or 40% as well for, if you guys gonna do a cruising in the next couple of years. So really fantastic news. So many, amazing news flowing all around the world. So congratulations to you guys for doing the right thing and getting vaccinated. Those who haven't done it yet, really request you all. We have already reached around 85% nationwide, and we have to really reach 100%. So please, if you have not done vaccination yet, do so. So everything opens up, and we can just fly like we used to be. So it will be new normal, not like it used to be before, but definitely waiting that everything opens up like it used to be before. So this is the main update, Umeshi, internationally.
Yes, and you have quite rightfully said. And may I comment, Tanvi, that from the time we started, we are now on our episode number 58. Your presentation skill has just improved, and is such polished and such a very expert in the way that you are presenting, and very professional. May I compliment you on that? So
thank you so much, Mesty, and thank you so much for the opportunity and really keeping up with me, Mesty. It's like very well. It's just going so busy. Sometimes we do the time change and all that, but you always accommodate. Really appreciate you, Australian Indian Radio, and your whole team for really doing excellent job. Thank you so much.
No, it is wonderful, and right now it's more exciting news. Things are opening up. But throughout the whole, pandemic episodes and all the things that have been happening, you've always managed to keep it quite upbeat, and have come up with some good news, and always said whatever it was there with everyone. So wonderful, good to see that. Well, right now that Norwegian cruise and Black Friday sale sounds very good. Yes. Well, okay. So moving on, what are your expectations for people right now, because it is very vital that people are versed with what's changing, because in excitement of holidays or booking things like that, people might just go and do things which is probably not right. So what are your tips at this point in time?
So guys, my first tip, as always, please keep yourself updated, especially for your flights, whichever flight you're going. Make sure you check the latest rules and regulations, because there are a lot of changes being happening every few days, and we share in this episode as well. So please follow that if you're planning to fly, or any of your knowns. In fact, even you're not planning to fly, still it's good to know what's actually happening in the world. So if you were doing, flying anywhere, please make sure you do the VAT check-in 24 hours before your international flight or domestic flight. It is very, very important, because still there are a lot of schedule changes also happening, which people are not aware until they reach to the airport. And I have seen many airlines even have done, their schedules are before the actual time. So I've seen the Emirates also got some flight which was 5 hours early, like it used to be. So please make sure you check it. If you're booking with any of the agents, they generally contact you. But sometimes when you're on holidays and flown one way, if people just don't check email. So really highly recommend you guys if you're planning to fly, please always do a web check-in and always check what's happening with your booking. So in case there are changes are there. Second, very important thing, even from Australia, it says 72 hours before international flight, you need to do a COVID test. But remember, sometimes the country you're going through, they might have an extra condition as well that you can do COVID test only 48 hours before. So in last couple of weeks, I have changed my recommendation to do only COVID test 48 hours before international flight, not 72 hours. So if your flight is departing in afternoon 2:30, make sure you just do 48 hours exactly from that. It really doesn't count day wise, it always count the hours wise. Such as if you're going through Singapore or Colombo, sometimes it's ask you to do the COVID test 48 hours before, otherwise you might have to do a COVID test again and you might not have exact time for your transit. So please, 48 hours, just a thumb rule for COVID tests before international flight, Australia to India and India to Australia. Third, very important thing, please fill all your documentation before you leave home. I know many people are still trying to do it on the phone and leaving it till very last minute. Please don't do that. I have all the checklists with me for Australia to India, India to Australia, what all things needs to be done. Everything is step by step. And I have seen we send you checklists, people don't bother to read it. So please guys, this is a time where you have to be a little bit more careful. I know you were told over the phone, you remember, your memory is good, but believe me, sometimes when you are in panic situation, when you're flying, especially with infants, with adult, with the older people, your memory doesn't work because you are so panicked. So that's how this new idea of checklist came up, and that's why we send it to you. Please go through that checklist and make sure all the boxes are ticked off before you leave your home. That is very, very important. In COVID report, having passport number is your responsibility. That's not a pathology's responsibility. Always remember that, because I have seen again, we put in checklist, tell you guys here, still there are many people reaching airport without passport number and Airlines is not letting them go, because this is how the rule is. So rule is rule, guys. It is your responsibility that passport number is there on your COVID test report whenever you're flying internationally. Last but not least, please make sure that you check all your passports and OCI and everything, that nothing is expiring, and names are same as well. So there are so many other errors which people have not noticed, but once they reach to the airport, that they are coming up. So if you guys feel this is worth, please share with your family and friends. If there are any questions you guys want us to add, we're definitely happy to add over here. And please, you can go through our 57 more episodes as well on Australian Indian Radio, Australian Indian Times, Context Media, Brisbane Indian Times. They all available on all social media networks. Please share this with your family and friends. You can just copy the link and share them on WhatsApp. You can make it your story. And as I request you guys before as well, don't forget to tell us what is your international most favorite travel you would like to do in next 1 year, and your domestic travel as well. And if you guys have any question, you can always contact us on our Facebook, which is Oz India Travel. You can jump on our website, which is www.ozindiatravel.com.au. There's a question asking option as well, call back, so many options. So you don't have to worry, because there is a plenty of information available, but you just have to contact the right person who can guide you in the right direction, I would say. So, and you can call us, you can see the numbers. We have our hotline as well, which is 04044032464. Please leave the message there in case phone is not picked. Guys, still there are so many emergency calls are happening. We are trying to help every day possible, but sometimes there is so big call volume that it's very hard to manage. In that case, we request you, please message to us saying it's urgent if your your task is urgent, because it has to be definitely go on a priority basis, and you need to really have some patience these days, because those who really need to go on emergency, they have to be served first. But we have a lot of options that are definitely keen to help you guys with your travel plans. Thank you.
And of course, we know that when it comes to being agent, everyone believes their case is always agent. So of course, yes, and dealing with everyone, and many times there are so many inquiries which would be so general of nature, but there are other genuine ones. If you're taking up the time, then other people cannot take up. Well, thank you very much, Tanvi, once again for sharing all this very timely and wonderful information with with all our viewers and listeners. And thank you so much for being there with us throughout this journey. Once again, as Tanvi has mentioned, if you have any questions, please do. Don't hesitate. Just ask. And of course, share this episode and the link with everyone, and all the previous episodes are there, as Tanvi has mentioned. And of course, now is exciting times, and as we know, there are many things that are happening. Please remain up to date. And log into our segment every week to get update information, because things are changing, and they're changing very rapidly. As we know, here in Queensland, there have been some cases and of the rules that are going to be changed because of the number of vaccinations, and once we reach that magic number and the percentage. But today the news that came out is that we might do it even sooner because they're monitoring those numbers and everything. And once again, Tanvi, thank you so much for the information being shared with all our viewers and listeners.
Thank you so much, Umeshji, and have a good time, guys, and don't forget to do lots of shopping on your Black Friday. Thank you very much. Namaste.
Namaste ji. Thank you so much.